What's going on, everyone? So, earlier today, the Miami Heat officially made Jimmy Butler available. Officially announced that they are fielding offers for Jimmy Butler. The three teams that were named were the Dallas Mavericks, which I just don't see a path to get there. They'd essentially have to trade pretty much everybody but Kyrie and Luka. I don't think that they would do that for Jimmy Butler. Maybe they would. Houston Rockets, who I don't think makes any sense for. I don't think Houston should break the path. We've seen teams do this over and over again. Minnesota, the most recent example, right? I think the Houston Rockets are on a clear path. I don't think that they're a real contender. I think you see a team like this every year from Memphis to Sacramento, right? Teams that are young, they're talented, right? Just stay the course, and next thing you know, you'll be in a conference finals. You'll be in an NBA finals, right? I think that if you're going to make a trade for a star, needs to be the right star, kind of a star for more longevity. You don't want for the now. Jimmy Butler, playoff Jimmy, he's a real thing. He's tough. He's incredible. But I don't know if Jimmy on Houston is enough to elevate them to the top, right? And then last team is the Golden State Warriors, who I do think that they make a ton of sense for. I still kind of question, how are they going to make that trade work? How's it going to fit? But a healthy Jimmy with a Steph, no team in the NBA would want to see that. No team in the league would want to face Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry in a 7-game series. It would be tough. Was that enough to put them over the top? I mean, hey, Andrew Wiggins played at an all-star level in a playoff run, and Steph, being Steph, was able to win an NBA championship. So I wouldn't rule it out. I do think the Warriors are probably the best bet because he kind of fits Steph's timeline. Kind of make that last push for an NBA championship. Obviously, there's a lot of talks of LeBron potentially being traded. Do they wait to kind of see what happens there? But I do think personally the best place for him of the teams that were mentioned are the Golden State Warriors. But this is a Laker channel. So obviously, I'm going to talk about Jimmy Butler and the Los Angeles Lakers. I personally, before I dive into it, talk about the pros and cons here because there are some murmurs. There have been links since, basically Jimmy Butler potentially being traded, period, was a thing, right? It's the Lakers. Every player that becomes available is going to be linked to the Lakers at some point. And, of course, Jimmy Butler has been linked to the Lakers. Now, again, he has 3 teams that are preferred, but that doesn't mean that there's not other teams that are going to be open or that he might be willing to go to. He kind of has the control because he is a guy that he could opt out and just leave. So he has to go to a place where he wants to be, he's comfortable being, re-sign, work out a new deal with. He does kind of fit LeBron James and Anthony Davis's timeline. Does make some sense, right? Again, no one want to see Jimmy Butler, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis in a playoff series, a 7-game series. It'd be ridiculous. But personally, it's just me. I want the Lakers to stay as far away from Jimmy Butler as possible. I don't like the idea of Jimmy Butler. He does it. He does solve a lot, right? A guy that go get you buckets, guy that can take over games, guy that's willing to do the dirty work. He's one of the few stars that is willing to do the dirty work, right? Whether he scores 5 or 50, he doesn't care, right? He just wants to win, right? He's a guy that, I go get you 15, 20 a night if you need it, if you want it. But if you want me to die for loose balls, sacrifice my body, do whatever you need me to do, I will gladly do that. Playoffs, he's a guy that elevates, right? Kind of go to the team that, beat you in a finals. Is that something he'd want to do? It's another question that you got to ask. But it's, to me, more so lack of three-point shooting, what it would cost to go and acquire him, plus age and all that. I would rather just take the chance on a Brandon Ingram. I know he's hurt right now, but a healthy Brandon Ingram. I still like Zach LaVine. I just think he's more dynamic. I think he's a guy that kind of solves the scoring needs. So LeBron James and Anthony Davis still be LeBron James and Anthony Davis. I don't have any questions about the fit with that. Nothing, right? Jimmy Butler, I do kind of worry about the fit, right? How does him and LeBron work? How does LeBron and AD work, right? I don't worry about the fit as far as pecking order goes because I don't think Jimmy Butler cares, right? There's things where, if you got a Steph, for example. I love the idea of Steph, but what's the pecking order, right? Is LeBron being the third guy? Is AD going to be the third guy, right? How is that going to play out? How is that going to look, right? And you can make that argument for several stars, right? If you were to get a Devin Booker, right? Just using names example, what's the pecking order with that, right? Where Jimmy Butler, I don't think he cares enough to where it's I need to be the guy. I need to get my 20 shots, right? It doesn't matter to him. So I don't worry about fit in that regard, but I worry about fit just his lack of three-point shooting, right? He can knock down the three ball, but there are questions and concerns in that regard. His injury history, right? People worry about Zach LaVine. Jimmy Butler has the injury history that people pretend Zach LaVine has. And that's a big concern. Now, Jimmy is a guy that he's done more with less than anybody, right? Like, he's a guy that has taken teams that probably had no reason to be in an NBA Finals to an NBA Finals. So you put him around a LeBron James and Anthony Davis, that competitive nature, that competitive motor, yeah, good luck, right? It would kind of be my thoughts. I wouldn't hate it. If it happened, I would be stoked. I'd be excited. I'd be hyping it up like we just won the championship. It's definitely something that I would be not against, but it's not like my favorite option, right? The thing is just, can he stay healthier if he doesn't have to be like the guy on a nightly basis, if he doesn't have to do everything that he has to do for Miami, where he can just kind of be another piece? Again, it kind of falls into like the same, like, okay, what else are you getting? Because I don't think, like, insert Jimmy Butler and now you're the best team in the league. I've said the same thing with a Zach LaVine, a Brandon Ingram, you name it, right? Take this guy, insert him. Are you the best team in the league? No, I don't think. Also, the problem is Jimmy Butler in the regular season, right? Like, the Miami Heat are a regular play-in team, right? They have their struggles. He likes to pretend like, oh, there's no playoff, Jimmy, it's that. But, like, there are real concerns. And even Miami Pat Riley has called him out on several occasions about, like, just taking the regular season serious. It's like, dude, can we, like, maybe not be having to play extra games just to get into the playoffs and, maybe have like at least a first round of home court, anything. So that's a problem too, is how serious would he take it? Although you don't need him to be like superstar Jimmy, just if he can just give you like 18 a game, right? Like, that's fine just to get through the regular season, but it is a concern, at least. It is something worth mentioning. Problem is just the money he makes. You'd have to pull off that trade. You'd have to probably get a third team involved. Like, things could get very complicated, which is the problem. And I just think if you're the Lakers, you want things to be as smooth as possible. Even a Zach LaVine, at least you can get like a Dorian Finney-Smith, you can get a Daron Sharp, Walker Kessler, right? Like, Jimmy Butler, it could make things a little more complicated. Also, what does Miami want? Do they want like a rebuild package? Do they want like a bunch of first? Like, do they want both firsts and Dalton Connect and Austin Reeves and all this stuff? Because I don't think it's worth it, and I don't think you have the package that somebody like a Warriors. Like, I think the Warriors would give up Kuminga, would give up Moody, would give up some of the pieces for like, hey, here's a nice young package along with picks and stuff that the Lakers just can't meet, as well as some of these other teams that are listed, right? Some of these other teams, like, Lakers are very limited on assets. To me, I would rather see the Lakers focus on the guys that they are focusing on, go after the pieces that they have been going after, and then kind of let everyone else fight over the big names. I've talked about this heavily, right? Like, let teams fight over Jimmy Butler. Let teams fight over, a Cam Johnson and all these other. Go get a Dorian Finney-Smith, a Dennis Schroeder, a Daron Sharp, right? Bring in a Zach LaVine, right? Go get the guys and the pieces that help elevate the roster, get you into contention. Trust LeBron James and Anthony Davis with the right pieces and the right talent around you to put you in a position to go win an NBA championship, rather than like trying to rock the boat too much, right? And then also, what does Jimmy Butler want new contract-wise? I know Zach LaVine has a heavy contract. LeBron James, take the discount. But again, the age difference, that plays a concern. And Jimmy Butler, he could get like 50 plus million. Where Zach LaVine, you already know where he's at, right? So you kind of know what you need to do, how you need to kind of work the numbers, like what kind of discount LeBron would need to take in order to do that. Like, if Jimmy Butler wants, 4 years, 200 million or something like that, it's just not worth it. Now you're paying him till 40, right? LeBron's not going to, well, you don't know, but LeBron's probably not going to play another like 4 years, right? So it's like, is Jimmy Butler and Anthony Davis, is that the right suit? And I don't know how well you're going to be able to trade a 40-year-old Jimmy Butler, right? I don't like the idea. I think the Lakers should stay away. If one of these other teams want to go get him, yes, like if the Warriors get him, it would suck to have to play the Warriors with Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry. I think that could be, just a tough matchup. I still like the Lakers and their size advantage and stuff, but Jimmy Butler and Steph would be it would be a tough, tough matchup, tough battle. But to me, just let other people go push for that. If you're the Lakers, stay the course, stay patient, find the right trades, find the right moves, find the deal that makes sense for you to go now pivot to go do this. I just think that that's the best option for the Lakers. I think that that's what the Lakers should focus on, right? I think you really need like 3, maybe 4 pieces, or like that high-end guy with like a Zach LaVine and then like a Dorian Finney-Smith, Day'Ron Sharpe, something like that, rather than like, let's go push all our chips in for a Jimmy Butler. Stay away from Jimmy Butler. But again, he's available. He's been linked to the Lakers, so I figured, why not? Let's touch on it. Let's talk about it briefly and kind of hash this out. But as always, this is a discussion, and I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you like the idea of Jimmy Butler? Do you agree? Like, no, stay away from Jimmy Butler. He's not the answer. He's not worth it. Do you think, no, you got to go get Jimmy Butler, playoff Jimmy with LeBron James and Anthony Davis? That's enough to go win you a championship. At that point, who cares, right? You go with Connect and Vincent, whatever you got to do, right? Whatever your thoughts are, love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.